Welcome everyone to the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty. I am here today to bring to you a father's first cosmic reception. And so we'll be discussing the experience as a first time father, and we have it from a recent first time father's perception, his view. And as I mentioned in the description and when I shared this video, if you are a soon to be first time father, if you are a recent first time father, if you have advice for a first time, recent, or soon to be first time father, join us in the conversation. That'd be great. So right now I'm going to have our recent first time father introduce himself, and if he would like, also share what or why he's interested in coming here and speaking to you all.
Well, first off, I would like to say thank you for introducing me. Well, my name is Stephen Mitchell. I'm a first time father. I just had a little girl back in January. Um, and I just wanted to come on here to show everybody that it's not really as hard as a lot of people think it is. A lot of people, especially first time fathers, they stress, they pull their hair out, they run around like chickens with their head chopped off, and they try to, you know, pull together as much money as they possibly can to get, diapers, formula, baby clothes, and all types of other stuff that the baby might need. However, I'm here to tell you that it is not as hard or as complex as some people will make it or play it to seem. And I know what you're thinking. I'm saying it's kind of crazy, but it's as long as you have faith in the universe and you keep in touch with your higher self, I feel like everything is gonna fall in place when you truly need it. All my life, personal experience, all my life, I've always been a given person, and I've always felt like I've gotten a short end of the stick. But I'm actually here to tell you firsthand that the universe will give to you, and it will give to you when you need it the most, not when you think you need it, not when you feel like you need it, but when you absolutely need it the most. And being the first time father, I was stressing. I was like, oh my God, I just lost a job, I was pulling my hair out. I was growing gray hairs. I'm only 24 and I found a couple gray hairs myself. So, it is hard. It is very stressful. But honestly, I can say that I'll say a good 75 to 90% of the stuff that I have for my child right now has been given to me as gifts by other people. And I just honestly, I just want to say I want to thank the universe for everything because honestly, most of that stuff, like I said, 75 to 90%, that's pretty much most of the stuff she have, and all of that was pretty much gifts. I still got her some stuff for what I could do at the same time, trying my best to still support my household and trying to make sure she still has somewhere to live. But I feel like that's really significant because I've never been a person of belief. I just felt like belief is just something that just gonna drag you down the long run. But honestly, it's true. Like it's an amazing experience too.
Gratitude for sharing that and your reason why and introducing yourself. Now let's start off with some of the doubts and questions and concerns you had before your daughter arrived.
Um, some of the main doubts I was having, um, mostly is me not having supplying for her. Making sure she had baby food, diapers, just necessities. But at the same time, I'm a young man growing up in the world, and not just for us black people, but for any younger men my age, it's hard for us to get jobs because of the way the economy is. They want older people to have jobs. They want people with specific priorities to have specific jobs, and so that makes it a lot harder for me, especially with my skills and what I want to do with myself. It makes it harder for me to keep a job, and that was really one of the biggest things on my plate, is making sure I could try to keep a job so I can make sure that we had somewhere to live for when the baby was here. And for me, honestly, that was my biggest worry, was making sure I had a roof for us, because that's just, that's I feel like that's the most important of all at the end of the day.
Okay, good. And more life, I'll say peace to her for joining us. I appreciate her. She's always here. Thanks for joining us, more life. Um, so you mentioned your skill set. What is your background? What is I know you have a military background. You're a veteran.
Yes, I am a veteran.
Okay.
And
What branch were you in? What was your job there?
I am a veteran and from the United States Navy. I was an aviation electronics technician, and to sum that up, is basically a technician who troubleshoots the electronics for the plane, aka the communication devices, the navigation systems, things of that sort. And a large amount of my background pretty much falls under working with tools and kind of troubleshooting theory, um, assembling, disassembling a lot of things. I can do just about anything that can take apart and put back together.
Good. Okay, so I heard you mention that you had recently lost your job when you found out that you were having your daughter arrive, be born soon, and also that you were concerned about housing. Now, once she got here, did you have housing?
Yes, actually I did.
Okay, so that happened, huh? That's good. That's cool.
Yes, actually it did. The biggest thing, like I was saying, like I've been struggling so hard to keep housing for my family, and is the biggest thing I realize is that no matter what you go through, like I said, the universe will always pull you through. And I say that because I've been to the point where I've had money, no job for months, and still managed to get my rent paid. And I've been in a position where I have no money, no job, and still didn't get the rent paid, and I still have somewhere to live. And a lot of places out there these days really extremely strict on letting someone live there for what they would call free. I don't like to call it free because it's not free. It's here for us for a reason. It's I wouldn't say free, but it's essentially free.
Good. Okay, so that's good. So it sounds like you became aware of and actually start receiving some cosmic currency.
Actually, I have. Like I said, most of my life I've been a giver, and I feel like I've been receiving a lot of the short end of the stick. But I can tell you firsthand, personally, when it was time for me having my first child, I can tell you that if not everything that I have given to anybody else, at least most of it was given back to me when I really needed the most, and that was for my daughter.
That's good. That's great. So, you mentioned you had concerns about some items she would need, such as formula, clothes, diapers. Were those things there for her once she arrived, after she was born?
Yes, a lot of family reached out to me, and they pitched in and they put some money together. They uh they got money. They bought her months worth of diapers. I had enough diapers all the way up until she was two, for until the size twos, of course. Um, but yeah, I had plenty of diapers. I've had help to get me with the government programs and help me show me and my family how to sign my daughter up for the government programs to get assistance with baby formula, and other things of that nature, maybe baby food in the future if you continue to use it. So
And
I've
some of the benefits came from you being a veteran, right?
say that one more time.
You received a lot of assistance from being a veteran.
I have received a lot of assistance from being a veteran,
So
mostly
your
from.
time in, so the time that you put in to the military, that came back to benefit you as well.
Yeah, it can, and I say it can for a reason, because the military is definitely filled with a lot of gray areas, and if you don't follow it to the strict plan that they put together, you're definitely gonna set yourself up for failure. And not only that, but when you get out, they're basically gonna screw you. You're gonna be out of luck, essentially. They give you all this stuff for a plan, but like I said, if it's not followed strict to their schedule and how they want it set up, you're going to set yourself up for failure. And that's personally why I had to get out of the military, because I don't like anybody telling me how to live my life, what I can do, when I can do it, when I can travel, when I can't travel. I feel like that's something that's personal, that I deal with personally. Sometimes we wake up in the morning and we're just like, I really don't want to go to work. That's because your energy and your body is not feeling it. You probably shouldn't go to work. However, with the way that the world is set up, you can't do that. You have to follow their schedule. And so I left the military because I couldn't follow their schedule. I couldn't follow their energy because my energy don't flow the same way they do.
Ditto on that. That's the same reason I left the military
Hmm.
long time ago, lifetimes ago. Um,
Yeah.
Now let's talk about your concerns maybe for the mother of your daughter while she was carrying your daughter. Did you have any concerns, maybe like if the baby was receiving enough nutrition, enough food, or any concerns of the well-being of the mother of your child?
Honestly, the most concerns I really had for my mother, for the mother of my daughter, really is making sure that she's okay every day. Um, I mean, for the most part, she ate all the time. She she was. I did my best to take care of her, is what I would say. She stayed off her feet most of her pregnancy, which is a big one that most pregnant women go through. Um, some pregnant women like their stomach rubs for the cramping and stuff like that. So I tried my best to take a big part in a big role, and the mother being pregnant. And honestly, the only thing I could really say that really bothered me was more probably, I guess, her feeling the way she was feeling. You know, like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I physically see it in front and I saw what she was going through, but it was kind of hard on me because I'm kind of a soft-hearted person, and seeing somebody in a lot of pain or just not feeling their self under the radar or anything like that, it kind of bothers me in a way. And so for me, that was I have to say that was the hardest.
Okay. And I'm sure she appreciate the time and the energy you put into making sure she was okay and looking out for her. Um, Now let's talk about when it was time. Now first, I know you and the mother had planned a at home birth delivery.
Yes.
Right. You want to talk about the anticipation of having someone come in your home and watch your daughter be born right there in your home?
Honestly, I feel like it would be more comfortable being in your home versus being in a hospital. And I say this because in your home is the place that you're most naturally comfortable at. If anything goes wrong throughout your day, the one thing that you're looking forward to the most is your home. And I feel like having your child at home would be the most comfortable for you, your woman, and the child. And I say the child because in your home, it's mostly filled with the energy of you and your woman, or the people that's mostly going to be around your children. You know, and with that being said, you don't have all the random energies of random people coming in and out your house, or out the hospital. 3 or 4 different doctors for a doctor for this, a doctor for that, a doctor for they got all the different doctors for different things. I feel like if they just got one solid group that could cover everything, it would be more comfortable for everybody. Not only that, but the location of being at home versus a hospital. Nobody really wants to go to a hospital.
Okay, that's right. Um, and plus, it's less um the energies that you talked about. It's less energies that you and the mother and the baby have to encounter. And so it makes the transition for the baby coming here easier. It makes it easier for everyone. Um, and I'm just speaking from an energy perspective. I didn't have any of my children at home, so I'm not speaking personally. And actually, when I had my children, I wasn't even aware of at home births, so I missed out on that entire experience because I would have taken full advantage of it. Um, Now, what your daughter was actually born in a hospital. So, when, did you have any concerns while the mother was in labor with your daughter? Did you have
Um,
anything that crossed your mind that made you worry at all at any time?
a lot was going through my head when I was in the hospital. Um, my most main priority was making sure I keep an eye on my daughter at all times, and mostly because I know that at the hospitals anything can happen, when you have the skin tone that I have. You know what I'm saying? But my most second priority that was right below that is making sure the mother was all right. She wanted to do a natural birth vaginally, but she wasn't able to. So that made things a lot harder for her and for me because I feel like it's my job as a man, as her man, and as a father to make sure that the women in my house is always comfortable and always feel safe and comfortable at all times. And with that being said, I feel like I had to make her comfortable for her C-section that she had instead of the other birth. And so that was kind of hard for me too.
Yeah, I could not even imagine. To me, um, I'm not even gonna try to imagine. It just seems like with what I'm hearing you say and how protective you are of them and how you care for them, that it would be like some type of turmoil to not be able to just step in and fix everything and to keep her from having to experience any discomfort.
I gotta say, it's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable watching a person you love go through something that's very uncomfortable. because you may not feel it the way they do, but in a sense, you feel a kind of energy and it kind of attaches to your body. And in a sense, you just kind of feel an uncomfortable feeling. It's just like, I really wish I didn't have to, I really wish that you didn't have to go through this. But it's like, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's just mostly, I could feel the uncomfortableness that she was going through.
And how old is your daughter now?
My daughter is 5 months. She's going to 6 months
Oh,
on the 30th.
okay. And so everyone is healthy, everyone is well.
Everyone's doing excellent.
Very.
Everyone's great, making much progression. My daughter is beautiful and very intelligent.
And so far it sounds like every concern or doubt that you had that wasn't the actual reality. Actually, everything was okay.
Honestly, the hardest thing I would say throughout the whole pregnancy and giving birth, the hardest thing I really will have to say is probably dealing with the pregnancy. Honestly, because with my personal experience, taking care of a child isn't as complex as most people say it is. Especially, I feel like it's most easiest to take care of a child when you're a child at heart, when you have a kid side of yourself that you're not afraid to express. Excuse me. And when you have that kid side that you're not afraid to express, it makes it a lot easier for you to understand your kids. It makes it a lot easier for you to want to spend time with your kids and want to have fun with them, take them to the park and things of that nature, because you still have that kitty energy in you that you want to, express and overflow, you know, and people that has already been fully programmed to the system, they don't understand why it's so hard for them to take care of their children. Well, it's because your head is wrapped around making money, where my head is wrapped around making sure my family is always okay. you know. And while people's head is wrapped around money and stressing, and my head is wrapped around my making sure my family is okay, I can at least say one thing: I'm happier than I ever been in my house. I'm happier than I ever been in my life with my head wrapped around my family than it has ever been in my life with my head wrapped around money. Even when I was single and I didn't have no worries and I didn't have no family and I had the world in my hands, I still couldn't say I'm as happy as I am in my life right now.
That's good. So now I know that in our amongst our people, there is a high number of mothers. There's a high number of households where the fathers aren't present. And I know that you are and have been from day one present in your household. You've been with the mother and your daughter. All of you have always been together. You and the mother was together before the baby was born. And so you two didn't get together and live together because the baby was born or because you were expecting her. So, do you have any words to share for first time fathers or those who are expecting to be first time fathers? Fathers, period. You have any words for those who are not in the home and or any, because it's possible they have doubts or some concerns outside of the child that is influencing the fact that they are not in the home with their child growing up. You have any words for them?
Um, for doubts that I have outside of my daughter, I
No,
was
not you. Not you. The men that are not in the homes. You know, the homes where it's just the mother and the children are there and there's no father. You have any words for them?
Honestly, I would have to say I don't personally. I really can't understand um why they let certain things drive them apart. I feel like a lot of fathers are away from their families either because of money issues or because of some type of relationship issues that was driven between them. And I want to say relationship issues because a lot of relationship issues that we deal with today is a lot because of just the way society is. I want to say, and I say that because society drive us to be secret, have secret lives in a sense. If you look at the phones, phones have kind of different ways to hide things. You got these blocked messages and different things like that. And I feel like things like that help drive wedges into in between relationships. But enough of that. I feel like men should do whatever to build and keep their relationship with their family strong. And I say this because I know a lot of men in my life who don't be don't end up with their families and they end up crumbled and broken. And I don't want to say that's the case for all men or all black families who don't have their parents. I feel like there's a great way that you can co-parent. Co-parent is not a hard thing. I've seen a lot of people just be very mature and step up and put aside the differences of the relationship and really do what they need to do to take care of their child. So I feel like the men out there that's not a part of their families, just do it. If you are doing what you can do, just keep doing what you can do. And if you're not, I feel like you should do what you can do to reach out to your family and do what you can't do because I promise you in the long run it will all pay off.
I agree. And I've seen examples of, like you mentioned, and I refer to it as cosmic currency. I have witnessed people not having everything they thought that was necessary, and they stressed about it. They might have attacked people in the household about it, and not realizing that everything that is yours is already there for you. And as you mentioned before, it might not be when you want it, when you want to see it, or when you think it's supposed to be there. It comes to you when it is time for it to arrive. And actually, it's not even coming to you, it's waiting for you to get to it. Everything that's yours is already set, it's already there, it's waiting on you to arrive to it. So, yeah, I would say if there is something that people are missing, it's because they have not tapped into a part of themselves that is waiting and available to them. So I would say to work on more knowledge of self, know thyself. If there are some issues you are facing, there are plenty of resources out here available to people. If for some reason you are aware of this video and you can contact me and you need a resource, contact me. I will get you in touch with some resources. And even if it's outside of parenthood, I will be able to assist you with some resources. Um, you have anything you want to say after that?
I just want to let all the men know out there that no matter what you're going through, I promise you it gets easier, okay? It gets much easier. And one thing that makes it easier is just knowing that there's more out there than just yourself. And I can tell you that firsthand experience. It gets easier.
Yes, and I agree. And as More Life says, absolutely. Um, so I know you mentioned we had talked before we got started. You mentioned about a half hour. This your first video, so that's good. What you think about it?
It was kind of nerve wracking at first, but I got a little comfortable.
Yep, I knew you would. It happens like that. I was like that my first time. I appeared on Crumb TV. I was like, what do I do next? What will I do after that? Yep, but yeah, once you sit down in the chair and you get going, it just comes. It just is where you are. So we're gonna wrap up this show. Um, unless there's more you want to talk about that I was not aware of that you want to cover, we can do that. If not, then I would ask if there's anything that you want the audience to know before you leave today to share that with them. It can go however you want it to go right now.
I feel like I pretty much covered everything that I really wanted to get across. I feel like I made my point, and I feel like most people who watch this video, hopefully all, but most people at least, understood that, there's more, and that it gets easier. That's pretty much the goal of this video, is to show and tell people that it gets easier. It's gonna be hard for a minute. It might be hard for a long time. A long time. I've been struggling for a long time, but at the end of the day, it's gonna begin to get easier, and you just I feel like you just need to appreciate it. Can for however easy it gets, whether it gets a little bit or a lot of bit. You just need to appreciate it as much as you do as you can for when you get it, because it's not always gonna be there.
Thank you for sharing that. And I am going to close up here. I'm going to ask if you would one more time tell the people who you are, and if you want to give them any information on contacting you, you can share that as well.
Once again, my name is Stephen Mitchell. I live in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I don't have any social media currently. But if you do want to contact me and ask me for any information that might help you out, please give me a text at 317-449-3733.
Thank you for sharing that. Here, let me see. I was going to put that number up. I think everybody's okay. Hold on here. You said 317.
449
Uh-huh.
3733.
Thank you. Okay. So if you want to contact him, you can text him, contact him. This is his number. And this area code 317-449-3733. And we're going to close out this show. I again am your host. Host is Joy Allen. And we are here on my YouTube page, The Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty. And soon in future videos, I'm going to be streaming to my Facebook page on Joy Allen and my Facebook page, group page, Karma Did What. You can also follow me on Twitter and or Instagram at MKDTNT. I appreciate everyone for being here. I appreciate More Life for joining us. And I also appreciate the frequency of this build along with her. And I always do. That's why I do not mind the builds. And this one was one that was actually a last minute concept, and not minding, I jumped on it and we're here. Also, if you would like to, you can support my Cash App at #TNT 96MRD. And I'm actually going to say anything that I receive through my Cash App today or from this video, I'm going to give it to the family of my guest here today. So I'm going to send that way. And I'll see you all next time. Actually, I'll be here tomorrow night and we are talking about the real Dravidians. So we'll be working on that, and I'll see you all then. Peace, wholeness, and wellness. You want to say something?
I just want to say thank you for letting me on your video and let me stream with you. I've greatly appreciated giving me your time.
You are welcome. And it's possible that you're gonna get that vibration, you're gonna get that frequency, and you'll be back. You want to do it again. It's like the first time, and it becomes contagious. So if possible, just let me know. I'll be glad to have you back on.
Thank you. I definitely will.
You're welcome. And to everyone else, I speak peace, wholeness, and wellness.